Here we go then. The rebuild of a late 80s, early 90s ZXR 250. Kawasaki, if you didn't know. Look at the state of it there. Very dirty. Look at it. Right, first things first, I 3D printed some plugs to fit in the inlets, so when I pressure washed it, it didn't get any stuff down there. They worked quite well actually, and it's a technique I will use moving forward. So, took the carbs off. What are we doing there? It looks like we're taking them apart, taking the main jets out. I've got a proper screwdriver set there, so we don't mark any of the jets or strip them trying to get them out. Little thin screwdriver there to get the pilot jet out. There's the rebuild kit. That came from a place in Thailand, I believe, where these are quite popular. We are rebuilding the air screw slash fuel screw there. Bit of silicone. Try not to push them away. Insert. Oh, lovely. Look at that. Do them up. And then undo them 1.5/2 turns. Something like that. That is where the float needle sits. Replacing that O-ring as well. They tend to leak. Push in. Ah, click. Lovely. They are the floats themselves. And the float needles. Put them on there. Push them in there. These had a little screw to hold them in, which was a little bit different to what I'm used to, rather than sort of sliding through the car body itself. But it worked. I don't know what them little bits of plastic for on the end. They were like one of them little dog collar funnel things when it's been to the vet. Anyway, new float bowl gaskets, of course. Push in, test fit, push together. Lovely. Push them together again and then screw them together. Done. Choke rubbers, they were really hard. And they were hard as well to get out. Stabbed myself. Got them out in the end. Lube up the new ones and push them in. Quite hard, but not impossible. It was a very involved kit. I've done everything in them. Choke spring on, choke plastic thing, and a new choke rubber on the top, which is how they should be, not rock solid. Push that into place, do them up. New O-rings for the carbs where they join together. They're the old ones looking a bit mullered. These were a tricky one. These are the screws that hold the butterflies onto the throttle shafts. So, you have to drill a hole in them and then smack them out. That is me cleaning up the wiring is what that meant. There we go. I've done all that to every single connector on the loom, then sprayed it with that stuff. Perfect. What am I doing here? Don't know. Taking the spark plugs out. They look a little bit black, but I'll clean them up and see what the score is. Camera down the bores to check what it's like. They looked alright. Here I'm putting the mock fuel tank on and just seeing if there's any leaks. Time for starting up. Hey! That ran. That's good, but it misfired a bit. Anyway, now I'm going to put some water in there because there wasn't any. So I cleaned up all the connectors on them. Now I'm putting new HT leads on there because these were a bit hard, as you can see, and split. They were probably okay, but I thought, why not? Very, very hard, very old. Cut, clean up the internal wires, whatever you want to call them, then I poke that thing down. So when I push them onto this bit, they then got a nice clean spiky hole to go into. Do them up, lovely. Bit of silicone oil again, because pushing these on were bloody tight. New HT caps on there too. Just testing that everything is connected, and it was, because I got a resistance value. Great. New spark plugs. Why not? Push them in. Plop. Do them up. Oh, there we go. Running like a dream. And that was it, running out of fuel. So there we go. The new plugs, HT caps and HD leads fixed the misfire issue. I've had that bike for about 5 years. I think I bought it at the end of 2020, somewhere around there. And it was always going to be a bike for me to keep and do up, because I've always wanted one and they're super cool. I also plan to make a longer video on the bike as well. So if you didn't know, the bike was an inline 4 250cc, which in this country especially are very rare. Because of the horsepower and the weight, they don't make sense anymore with the UK licenses, or never did make sense, so not many were bought into the country. The main point being that they rev to 19,000 RPM, so they sound like an old school F1 car. So yeah, really cool. Anyway, a bit more on that later on, maybe. I needed to make some space in my sheds for other projects which I wanted to do and need to do, because I'm sick of walking around bikes all the time and walking into them. So although that was a bike I never intended to sell, it was one which I thought would sell. So I thought I'd get it out, get it running, and then see what the demand for it was. Within a day, I had a lot of messages about it, a lot of watches on eBay. They have got a bit of a following if you know about them. Long story short, chap came round, offered me the right money for it, and I sold it there and then, which was it was a bit of a shame, really. It did make me a bit sad to see it go, which is why there is very little footage of it. I plan to make a full-length video on it. I did get a few pictures of it when I was selling it, which I will put either here or something like that, so you can see what it did look like. At some point there will be more videos on them types of bikes, because I'm not quite finished with that story yet, so look out for them. That was it. Bit of a different video, really. What do you want me to do about it? See you later.